tell us a little bit about exactly what you announced. Kind of describe it for us, what the partnership, what the feature is.
Yeah, we announced something that we call @Anywhere, and it's a framework for integrating Twitter into websites, very simply in a deeper way than you could before.
And so you said you had 13 partners. Explain to us a little bit about what those 13 partners, some of the names of them, and how you got to those agreements.
So 13 sites that we're working with. Eventually we're going to make it so anyone can drop in some lines of JavaScript and do this. But we're working with a bunch of sites to launch, including New York Times, eBay, Amazon, Bing, YouTube, Dig. Big sites that are integrated all in different ways. So it does a bunch of different things, from sign in with Twitter and then be able to easily tweet from whatever context you're in, to being able to, maybe you're reading an article from your favorite columnist and you can easily follow that columnist. So it's all about not having to go back to Twitter to do stuff, and really capturing it in the moment, whatever you want to do.
So I would assume that that'd be really good from a branding standpoint, obviously, like raising brand awareness and bringing it out places. But how does that actually help you guys as like business? In other words, is this, will they pay you guys for that service, or how does it help you other than branding?
Well, there's some ways you can imagine that it will help eventually. The goal of it, though, is really to just more closely integrate, to be a service to the sites and to users, and that's our strategy here. It's not directly a revenue play, but it could relate to that eventually.
So the other thing I want to ask you, okay, so everybody thought you were going to announce a revenue play today. You guys never said it, but we were expecting hopefully to know a little bit more about kind of the plans for the advertising service. Yeah. Are you getting any closer?
We're making a lot of progress. I mean, there's some wild speculation that I hope we didn't disappoint anybody, but there'll be stuff when we're ready to show stuff. We'll do that rather than just talk about it.
One thing, this morning I spoke with the CEO of Dig. We spoke with him, and one of the things he said was that Facebook, we know, is generating a lot of revenue when we talk about social media sites. He goes, Twitter has to prove itself this year. This is the year it has to prove itself. Do you feel like you are on a time horizon a little bit to prove yourself this year? And Dick Costello even said that. He said, look, we have to, when I spoke with him last, he told us, we have to live up to our valuation. We have to evaluate.
Of course,
so do you feel you're on a bit of a timeline here?
Yeah. I mean, we're definitely on a timeline, but I don't think we're behind. We're fortunate to be able to take our time and try to do it right, because we're pursuing what we think is a very, very big opportunity. And so we're making money today through some partnerships, and we'll be rolling out more this year for sure. And we'll see how it goes. We won't be, we have a few years to really scale it into a big business, but we have to prove it.
How much do you think eventually advertising will make up of your overall revenue? As you're planning and looking forward, what would be the ideal?
I can't say. I don't know. We don't know how it will work. We're working on a couple different things. Some of it's advertising, some of it's not.
One of the things you said that I really liked in the actual speech was you talked about how you have to experiment with different business models. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you're still in the experimental stages, or do you still feel like you're closer to nailing something down?
We're in the experimental stages until we start launching these things and see how they work. And we have a very strong theory about where the value is going to come from, but the specific implementations is where the rubber meets the road, and what users react to, and measuring it, and you just never know. It's product design really that it comes back to, and we're always iterating on the product and see how does this work better for people, and since we haven't launched any of the revenue stuff, then it will definitely take experimentation.
All these business questions. It's terrible, right?
I don't know.
I have one more question, and that is, Steve Ballmer, a few weeks ago, he addressed the issue of acquiring Twitter. Would Twitter ever be consider going to Microsoft?
It's certainly not something we think about today. We're really committed to building a long-term business, and we think there's every potential to do that, and so it's not even doesn't even make our map of things to talk about.
Are you having fun here? I mean, this is where you guys launched, right?
I'm having a blast. 2 years ago? I've been coming to South by Southwest for 10 years, so we kind of launched Blogger here in a way 10 years ago, myself and my team, and so it's always been a really pioneering conference, and it holds a special place in my heart.
How do you think it's different this year?
It's huge. I mean, in the last few years, it's really exploded, and it used to be fairly intimate and all the same people you see in the hallways. Now there's just thousands of people and so much energy. It's pretty exciting.